It's Nolan. What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Hey, man, we got to talk about Kanye West, okay? Now, I told y'all the other day that he was having issues with sample clearances. People that were sampled on his new album, Vultures 1, have been coming out left and right, letting the people know that they did not authorize the usage of their music to be sampled on his album. Unfortunately, it seems like the album's being pulled. Okay, I ain't gonna pull no punches with you. The album is being pulled as of today. It's no longer on Apple Music for sure. I was on there. I just checked. Some of the songs had been taken down already. The entire album has been removed. It's still on Spotify as of now, but it probably will be removed shortly because again, there's a lot of unauthorized samples. We talked about it the other day, but now he's reaping consequences. Now, I told y'all I felt like he was using these records to, well, not the records. I felt like he was using the press off of people disputing the samples for more press. It definitely generated interest. It made people go listen to their songs out of curiosity, like, oh my God, he's bucking the system, this, that, and the third. I don't know what the method is to his madness. We know we've heard about Kanye and his Super Bowl commercial ad that he ran. It didn't run in every city, but it was ran in at least a few cities where they paid, what was it, $7 million for the spot, but they didn't put no money into the actual camera, the ad itself. So he was just sitting in his car doing the selfie cam, talking about the website Yeezy and selling stuff. They claim that he made $19 million, which is $12 million in profit off of that commercial, where he was selling shoes, jackets, t-shirts, I think vinyl copies of the album, all this different type of stuff. They made $19 million. Everything was a pre-order. So now you got to wait 4 to 6 weeks to receive your goods if you got that, right? So he's definitely got some smarts in his head. He's definitely got some sort of plan. But the problem that I'm seeing is that he doesn't fully think anything out. It's just like how he put the last album, Donda 2, out exclusively on those stem players. And those that bought the stem player, because he put the stem player out with the first Donda. But then Donda 2, you couldn't get it nowhere else. This still hasn't been released publicly. So now the stem player company dropped him after he made his anti-Semitic comments, because of course I believe it was ran by Jewish people, or somebody affiliated was one of the owners. So it's like he finds ways to come up. Adidas deal got him into the Billies and then lose everything. So he's in a weird position. Now, the distribution company that he went with in order to get this album out in the first place, they're even disowning him. They're even chastising him and saying that this is a problem. Okay? So let's get to the distribution company. Boom. So there's this company out there called FUGA, spelled FUGA. And I've heard of them before. And they've made a statement today. Last year, Kanye and his company, Yeezy, they were looking for a distribution deal because I told y'all before, after he made his anti-Semitic comments or whatever last year, or whatever the case may be, he lost everything, lost every deal. Every company that was affiliated with him disowned him, right? So Def Jam decided to let him go. Universal Music let him go. He got all of his contracts and became a completely free man, completely independent artist, which I honestly believe was his intention, which is why he took the play that he did. So boom. He gets with this company, FUGA, which is a business-to-business tech and distribution platform for labels. However, FUGA is not pleased. They say late last year, FUGA was presented with the opportunity to release Vultures 1. Exercising our judgment in the ordinary course of business, we declined to do so. So they didn't even want to do business with him when they took the meeting. The spokesman continues, on Friday, February 9th, 2024, a longstanding FUGA client delivered the album Vultures 1 through the platform's automated processes, violating our service agreement. So he found, essentially, Kanye and his team found somebody that was already in the FUGA system, that had a label affiliated with them or had their own setup, right? So they took a meeting with the guys. They say, yeah, man, that's dope. It's nice that you're independent. Salute to you. But I don't think that the risk is worth the reward in dealing with you, right? Because they have partnerships and all of this different stuff. They got small white labels and all of this type of stuff. And when I say white labels, I'm talking about companies that basically release their music through FUGA, but don't tell nobody it's through FUGA, right? You just put your own company name on it when it goes up on Apple Music, Spotify, etc. And that's pretty much what a white label does. They handle all of the administrative duties. You get your upload and you get your credit. Not to mention, there's big companies that are invested in these distribution companies. So even though you're not signed to a Universal, Warner, whatever the company may be, a lot of these companies, record labels, have investments in the distribution companies, right? Because why not? Independent distribution has become a big business, so why would we not invest in y'all just to make sure even when these artists go independent, we still getting the kickback at the major labels, right? So that's what makes it tough. Even when you're independent, you're still feeding the system at large. So all that being said, Kanye and them went with some nigga, probably wasn't a nigga, and he said, I'll put the album up for y'all. I'll take care of it. And I'll white label it under Yeezy, which they did. February 9th, it was uploaded. Boom. For whatever reason, FUGA sat back and let it happen though. Because if it was uploaded on February 9th and the album just came out last week, you had a little bit of lead time. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot, but a little bit. And how did y'all get that shit out so fast is another question of mine. Because it went on Tidal first. So it's starting to look a little funny in the light. I think FUGA's doing this for just to save face. Because y'all did a trickle release. I don't know. Y'all trying to save face. Because he got anti-Semitic lyrics on the album, which y'all probably didn't know. So now they're putting all their resources together. Due to the fact that they violated the service agreement, FUGA is actively working with DSP partners and clients to remove Vultures 1 from the systems. Distributors are typically able to pull down content uploaded through their systems at their discretion. The FUGA spokesperson did not clarify whether the company would take this action or help facilitate a transfer to another distributor. So at the time when they did this interview, which was about a day ago, they weren't sure if they were going to do this. As of today, the takedowns are active. Now, Kanye was recently approached about his former comments. And he also was approached about the prospect of his music potentially being removed. And he seemed pretty unmoved about it. So I'm going to play some audio of him being questioned by TMZ. And just so y'all can see how arrogant he's feeling right now. I don't know what his master plan is. But let's just let him talk about it.
The people have always wanted that, you know, and I went to different companies and they would never let me bring it like that. It was always ways that they were blocking us from hitting the prices. So I had to leave from those companies and, you know, I was too.
So at this point, just for clarity, he's talking about the sale of the clothes, because everything with the Super Bowl ad, everything was priced at $20. So his fans finally got affordable Yeezy clothing, which is a problem that he's had throughout his whole career. Every time he's put shoes, clothing, anything out, it's been exorbitantly priced. He's been trying to fight with the companies to lower the prices. Nobody ever wanted to, because they wanted to go luxury, because he's paying a lot of money for materials. Even though the shit looked like trash, the materials still cost more than some of the stuff that you'll get from like these Fashion Novas and shit like that. Anyway, he's going to get to the music portion.
2 months, I'm gonna just be honest with y'all, I was 2 months from going bankrupt.
Really?
And I put everything I had into it. We moved to Italy, we moved to the factories, and we survived. We survived through the cancellation. We're back #1.
Do you think the controversy helped you?
It wasn't about the controversy, it was about the ability to say how you felt out loud. And if I didn't have the various skill sets of music and clothing and the fan base, they would have been able to destroy me.
Now, this nigga said he was 2 months from going completely bankrupt, which, if y'all can remember, I think, what year was that? 2013 or something like that? Kim Kardashian saved his ass from going bankrupt as well. She put up millions upon millions of dollars. How much did she pay to help this nigga get out of debt? Let's look that up. You know, a lot of people be dumping on Kim, but she definitely put some motherfucking money up to save his ass while they was married. So he was $53 million in debt, and Kim bailed him out in 2016. 56 million. So again, niggas be on her head top. I don't think she's I don't think she's all that. I don't keep up with her like that. But how many women out here in this motherfucking world is willing to do that? Period. Anyway, I'm gonna let him continue. And he found himself, the whole point of me pointing that out was she did that in 2016, less than 8 years ago, and just 2 months ago, he was almost bankrupt again. It's time to figure out how to spend your money, man. You can't be shelling all this shit out trying to make clothes and shoes, bro. Like, I get it, but I don't, because even at 19 million, y'all made 12 million in potential profit. Still had to pay for the materials and everything, so you'll have to decrease from that 12. That ain't enough. Not for the life y'all niggas be living. You said you been living in the factories. How long you gonna live in the factory, nigga? Keep going.
But because we had all those skill sets, somehow I'm here inside of this universe, able to fight.
You can't be destroyed, it would appear.
Thank you. Love you. I love all the people that support it. And you know what I'm saying? We needed to have something that was Apple level. You know, where's the Apple level? It's just me and my bro Elon. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Some of the streaming platforms removed you.
We #1. Right. We #1. You know, everything that they did only helped us. I like it. Remove us. I like simplification. Streaming platforms is bullshit to the artists anyway. Really? Spotify would give us $500 million between all of us and say, work it about amongst yourself.
This nigga cooking now. This nigga cooking with some grease. I ain't gonna lie. When this nigga be right, he be right. But when he wrong, whoo, motherfucker be off base.
I'm like, what about Adele? What about Drake? What about Weeknd? What about Taylor Swift? What about me? They like, no. Doesn't matter how much any of y'all stream. Y'all got to work that $500 million. A $500 million? A $500 million? That's what streaming companies think of us as the musicians, and all the label owners just hand it over.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We ain't on that, bro. As long as I breathe, I'm here for all of my artists, all of my peers, and all the people. People get in the way. That's what the market does. They get in the way. The diamonds are infinite, but people make a market out of it and try to charge more. They make diamonds our girl's best friend. You see what I'm saying? They make the Twix bigger. They trying to make us fat. You know what I mean?
What do you have to say to people who resent your success based on some things you've said they disagree with?
So, I don't know if it's just a $500 million that the streaming services pay out. I think that might be somewhere in that ballpark, but I think it's a little bit more than that. But what he is making note of is what they call the prorated streaming system. And of course, if you're not in the music industry, if you're not dropping music or representing somebody that drops music, y'all wouldn't know about this or really give a fuck too much about it. But with the prorated system, that means that everybody pretty much gets a standard share. And your standard share is based upon what type of membership the listeners are using, right? So if you're Kanye West, Drake, Adele, Taylor Swift, whatever, and everybody that's listening to you, or a lot of people are listening to you, you know, they have a premium membership where they're paying top dollar for whatever to get the highest quality audio and all that good shit, you might get, you know, we've been hearing about this 0.0003% of a cent or some shit like that. Well, it's a little bit higher on the premium listens. Not a lot higher, but a little bit, right? So everybody's kind of divvying up the same shit, but the biggest artists are still getting the biggest payouts because they're getting the most listens, so that's the share. But what a lot of people are trying to fight for is that the top performing artists on the streaming platforms, like the ones I just named, they want to get a higher percentage because they bring a higher amount of traffic to the platforms, right? And they want the smaller artists to be paid less, even though they're the ones that need the money the most. So it's a lot of tug of war going on about the value, especially when some certain big artists, even though they bring a lot of people in, they may not release a lot of music, so they could go a decent little bit of time before you hear from them. But it's the other artists, the smaller artists that are releasing every day that keep daily traffic coming in. So it kind of ends up balancing itself out. But again, he's looking at it like, if the pot is only $500 million, why are we sharing it with people that don't bring in, you know, as much traffic as we do? That's really what his argument is. And he says he likes the simplification. I don't know if he's going to try to launch his own shit. He still hasn't really patched everything up with Jay-Z and them, I don't think. So I don't know what his next move is going to be, if he's going to be able to try to sell this album anywhere, because again, he's got a gang of uncleared samples on it and uncleared performances. I told y'all the new Body joint with Nicki also is on there, which she was very explicitly saying she did not sign off on.
That's the whole thing. They got the right to their opinion. I got the right to my opinion. You understand what I'm saying? We all have the rights to our opinions, but so many people will lose their jobs, lose their careers for taking the steps that we took. You know, we went down for like a year and a half. You know, people think that I got, you know, kicked out of Adidas for the tweet. We were having problems before. They were stealing my designs. They still trying to sue me. It's like, get right.
Right.
Get right. Be honest. Y'all gonna send me $100 million a year, then say that I misallocated the marketing. I was the marketing. Look at where y'all at now. Look at where we at right now. Y'all want to play? You're not gonna have me nap on the board. These companies.
Again, when he's right, he's right. Niggas was buying Yeezy and Adidas because he was over there. Some people might have bought that fucking Human Nature for real shit, but his market share at Adidas is way far less than what Yeezy was bringing in. Yeezy itself became a multi-billion-dollar company in 2 years. Come on, man. You might not like him. I don't even care to listen to him rap no more. But when the motherfucker right, you gotta grade it correctly.
These Gap, Balenciaga, they just want to use the celebrities and have us be like the polo man on the top of the horse. And everybody knows, everybody felt what I felt. You know what I'm saying? I even said the apology and they still fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? I said apology. Some of the stuff I was saying was true. So until y'all come up and say, yo, what he was saying, some of that was true, then go ahead with all that.
Do you take back any of the anti-Semitic stuff you might have said?
Black people can't be anti-Semitic. We are Jew. You understand what I'm saying? We are Jew.
I think
so cool out. Until you do your facts, until you really do the facts with the fake indoctrination that y'all pull into the schools and all that.
I think he been listening to some black Hebrew Israelites, man. We gotta be a discussion for too motherfucking long for today. But I think that's where he's getting his information from.
You know what I'm saying? We're not following y'all rules.
I mean, just like calling DEFCON on Jews and that sort. Like, do you take back any of that sort of more extreme stuff?
You know what? For all the kids that love me, all the Jewish kids that love me, I'm sorry if y'all had to hear a grown-up conversation with us screaming at each other. But we got to a point where something needed to happen. Something needed to be said. Somebody needed to say something. Now, if you're in an argument with somebody, you're not going to say everything the right way. But it got to a point where y'all ain't gonna just keep running, start calling me bizarre and impressed for all these years. I got to a point, how many more times y'all gonna call me crazy? How many more times y'all gonna give me fake medication that makes me fat off of a misdiagnosis when I really have slight signs of autism from the car accident? But then y'all gave me, you say, whatever, just give them that bipolar medication. Y'all try to kill the superheroes.
I saw a piece of this clip the other day, as far as him saying he might have slight autism from the car crash. I think what he's thinking about is something dealing with blunt force trauma. It's not actually autism, but it's something like that. You know what I mean? But again, he be misinformed.
But we here, we alive. You know what I'm saying?
People calling you crazy and misinformed.
Palestinians?
What'd you say?
Your thoughts on the Palestinians?
I don't have enough information on that. I'm straight up nigga from south side of Chicago, born in Atlanta. I don't have enough information. There's love for everybody, but don't pull me to that conversation. I got 14 kids dying every week in my city. You know what I'm saying? So talk to me about that.
Yeah.
All right. So there we have Kanye speaking about the Super Bowl ad, making $19 million off of a $7 million investment. We got him saying he don't give a fuck if they take his music down from the streaming services, which is why we even came to do this video. He says he enjoys the simplification of everything. He doesn't like the payout system of the streaming services anyway. And to be honest, if he were to actually do the work to get this music cleared properly, he could easily just sell the album off his own fucking website. He wouldn't have to deal with this shit. He could go to a company like Even.biz. Even.biz is going to take like a 10% commission distribution fee. But then you could do the merch. You could do all this other shit. They would love to get an artist like a Kanye to go over there. But again, this nigga got all the resources in the world. A lot of them have minimized, but there's a lot of smart black niggas that will get down with him. IT motherfuckers that will set him up with an all-purpose website where he could sell his goddamn albums at whatever price point he wants. If he wanted to sell that bitch for $50 a pop just to listen to it, he would make money. So he needs some real niggas in his corner, but he also needs to know how to sit back and allow motherfuckers to work. I think he likes to overtake the conversation. He likes to overtake everything because that's just his nature. That's the way he's had to function due to him being slept on so many years in the industry before he was able to break through. I think he wears that on his sleeve, and that is probably one of his biggest Achilles heels is his overarching need to be heard when sometimes he really ain't got shit to say. Let me know what y'all think of this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates, and I will see y'all on the next one. All right, peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. First I'm out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.